Logus, Bamboo Mouse, FadiB, BowserHugs. This is the Fire to Open. Group B.
I'm excited to see how Fire and Ice goes. I'm excited to see. Logus is a really strong player, and a lot of people probably expected him to win this group. And for him to tie for, we'll say tie for third, we could say tie for fourth, but it was a surprise. So we'll see.
Yeah, it is.
As Fatty said in the chat, putting. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to learn how to time out what I'm saying with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. As you were saying, I predicted the only way that he would lose is a meteor strike. So overall, it is what it is.
Yeah, overall that seems a bit wrong. I do think he was being a bit risky putting Fakirs into the draft, and then yeah,
that ended up coming back to bite him. So,
all right, we have another game here though. We have spades in round one, with means all those earth coins again. So we saw a lot of players use that to their advantage last game. There's even more coins coming in round three for having priests on the track. So getting those priests from the water event in round two, sending them to the track. There's plenty of cult bonuses to take advantage of for coins and priests. There's not early spades on the cults, and there is no spade pass tile. So this game is actually a bit tight on spades. Fight for power spade actions early, unless there's some factions like Giants or Stronghold Nomads or Darklings that'll help alleviate said spade pressure. The scoring is a little tough with round four and round six big building. That means your overall economy has less ways to score because you're maxed out at 10 points from those rounds in the final two. But that's not a huge problem. There's quite a lot of scoring in the pass tiles between shipping, big building, and trading posts. But yeah, there's the lack of spades is going to be the real tight part early on here in this game, I think, which reasonable, although there's no air cults. So I don't know. What are you thinking faction wise here?
I am personally thinking if we're talking about faction wise, I would love to see something high points, something like a engineers, not after witches are picked. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Something like a Darklings or.
So this map's a bit different though.
Yeah.
Green and gray are not as big of enemies as you'd expect.
Anyways, so yeah, green and gray are not that bad of enemies because they're kind of split off between each other. So like I said, something high points. Mermaids with this pass tile. I'm saying every neighbor to green, which is possibly why Fatty put green in here.
It is possible. As we saw with Group A, witches and mermaids on this map also though can be pretty coexistent. So I wouldn't be shocked. We see a nomads. Nomads might struggle to score slightly, but stronghold nomads are pretty strong on this map. There's multiple good locations where they can use their sandstorm and then still get a second hex off of it, which can help really hasten the early expansion. Plus, if you're opening stronghold, then you might be able to leverage that big building tile a little bit here and there. The only downside to opening stronghold with any of these factions is you're really limited your point ceiling for the last 3 rounds, because now you can only get 5 points for building your sanctuary in like round 4, and then you have no scoring for round 6 or whatever. So it's always a little tricky to figure out when to build your big buildings in games like this.
Okay, so Bamboo Moose puts in nomads. Let's see what else we've got. We now have the bonus cards into the overlay. Apologies that they're not as beautiful as I would like them to be, but they exist, and that's kind of all that matters right now. That's important information for us to know.
Hello.
Yes.
Alright. What else? Oh, what did we have? We got a mermaids as well, so that's exciting.
I'm always loving the mermaids, especially in this map, and especially with the bonus or the pass tile for shipping.
The ship score, it gives them another way to potentially really up their score, which could be very helpful this game. Mermaids obviously are always happy to build their big buildings late too. They don't need an early stronghold certainly, and even an early sanctuary is often not part of their plans because their sanctuary cost 8 coins instead of the kind of more standard 6. So plus mermaids just look good here with the water cult bonuses. So
let's see, what is the fourth faction? If I'm in this position, oh, it's a tough one to figure out which one to throw out here. Because you don't want to do what Logus did last time, which was throw out a faction that you feel like is bad, and therefore you can beat people with it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how big of a difference it is. The person who picks that one is losing the game.
yeah, I'm not sure those sorts of factions exist, but maybe.
I mean, last time he took Fakirs for 30,
Yeah,
and that did not, and that was with Darklings and Dwarves at 10. I think they started out with.
they were. I think they were 8 and 9 even. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So it's not.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see that big a disparity here, although maybe. I personally would just be mildly tempted by giants. I enjoy giants, and you might be able to get away with starting center on this map with your strongholds, and that central red on this map tends to get a lot of leech, which can potentially be fun. It's a little sad to have nomads in the game, but I actually don't think nomads are going to beat you to quite a few of the reds that you care about.
And Darklings were the pick.
But Darklings are the pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, go. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so Darklings are the pick here. Nomads are oddly the first pick to be done, which seems like a weird sort of thing to happen.
So
okay, so yeah, Darklings come out. Mouse goes and bids down Nomads a little more.
all bit in nomads, which kind of I kind of get it because nomads have no color neighbors, but I don't love nomads here that much. As we saw in game one, witches and mermaids both were very happy even with each other in the game. I still think this is a good mermaids game. I don't think nomads are 11 victory points better than mermaids, so I'm a bit surprised by this heavy nomads bidding. Um, I guess mermaids got sandwiched though because Darklings got put in. So yeah, never mind. Never mind. Yes, that was wrong analysis. Mermaids are sandwiched. That's no good. So
Yeah.
I guess yeah, they're the only one without a color neighbor here. So there's that. Fatty still likes sandwiched mermaids above witches, which maybe, but I think I'm taking witches second this game. I think I would be bidding witches a little bit at this point. I think they're still fine.
Yeah.
I think there's like gray hexes you care about as witches, and not so many blues. So
Yeah, absolutely. So nomads are bid down to 18. Mermaids bid down to 27.
27 now. Nobody's touching witches still, and I also just don't think darklings are like ever too bad. It's this map's not quite as friendly to darklings, but darklings are still just good. And yeah, mermaids are gonna get in your way a bit, but I don't know. Wow.
All right, apologies for that. My co-caster is attempting to fix some internet issues, so we can get the broadcast as good as humanly possible. We're gonna go ahead and put mermaids down to 21, and nomads down to 17. I'm interested to see what will happen with darklings here, darklings and witches, and see who will go for 30. I think both of them are very good, and I think both of them are way better than or not way better. Okay, I think both of them are way better than mermaids at 19 especially. So if I'm playing right now, I am happy to take darklings or witches at a 30 point or at an 11 point lead over mermaids and then at a 13 point lead over nomads. I do not mind taking either of them. I don't even mind giving my opponent 30 points. And I think as FadiB, I think that's what you kind of have to do, right? So when we're talking with Nerdcube, one of his comments was that he didn't necessarily feel like he needed to win the second game. He just needed to come in a nice second, right? He needed to play it safe. And I think this is one of the problems where when you're bidding down nomads, right? When you have two factions that you're totally okay with taking 30 points for, that playing it safe seems to be the correct call to do, right? I mean, if your objective here, and your objective as FadiB should be to play for I mean, obviously he's a competitor, he may want to play for first, but playing for second is a totally legitimate way to play, and maybe the best way to win the tournament or win the group overall. Then taking something nice, easy for 30, good call. But we're still bidding down mermaids and nomads. Eventually, that betting will stop though, and we will see who our third faction is. So, coming into this, Bowser needs to select a faction. Let's see what happens here. It appears my co-caster is back. How are you doing, and are things good now?
Well, you'll have to tell me if things are good now, but hopefully.
I think things seem to be much better now. So,
all right.
We'll
see. Glad we could fix that.
We'll see how long it lasts. But okay, darklings go for a 30 point.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked looking at this bidding. How mermaids got down to 17 now, and nomads are at 14, and people think that darklings are somehow just that much worse. I don't think that's likely, and nobody's gone for witches yet either. So...
Yeah. What's interesting to me is that whenever you look at these particular things, right? That Nomad or that people, especially Fatty, isn't going ahead and bidding on one of those two factions, either witches or darklings, right? Because if you take one of them, you're taking a nice, clean second place and getting out of this group.
Possibly. I mean, Logus just sped up the bid for Darklings by going straight to 25. So these guys really don't like witches here, much more than I do. I'm not convinced that witches with just a color neighbor are so bad here. I'm really surprised they still love mermaids. I get that sandwiched mermaids are not that bad because this map is very mermaids friendly, but I am not sure that I would have bid mermaids down as much as they have been. And now Darklings are down to 22, and
Yeah.
witches are still free. I'd be jumping to witches, and there Logus does.
Yeah.
I like Logus's deal here. I think getting 9 victory points on everybody is pretty friendly.
Yeah, I think
Fatty paying for mermaids is questionable.
yeah. This is kind of what I was saying with when I was talking about doing the when I was talking about the way that Fatty plays. Fatty tends to be a very hit or miss kind of guy, right? He's a feast or famine kind of player. Either he is getting a hard first or he is getting a hard fourth. And I played in a game recently where he has gotten a hard fourth as mermaids in a better setup. So I am genuinely concerned for his ability to take first or to win this group.
I mean, I still like his ability to win this group, but because having a first having a first already gives you a lot of leeway. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, this game is going to shape up to be interesting. I think the broad game plan for mermaids is really going to be the question too. How many hexes are they really going to get on? I'm guessing he's going to plan to try to abuse high shipping and that ship past tile a bit, and maybe just barely find way to 3 towns. Much like I won Group A, he might try to not even worry about connection, because honestly, connecting looks tough if Darklings and Witches are going to be starting all over the place like they are.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're Fatty, I think you are the thing you're looking for here is to score to not take any chances, right? To not put yourself in a situation that you're super susceptible to things going wrong. So if you have a safe move, take the safe move, right? If it's between take Earth 1 and maybe get something after it that you kind of need but don't necessarily need, and Earth 1's definitely gone afterwards, take Earth 1. Take Earth 1. Absolutely. So, let's see.
Yeah. I'm very curious where the second dwelling for Darklings goes. There's several options I think for it, and there's one that I think really screws over mermaids. And so I think Fatty will be very sad if that happens. I'm not sure it's what he should do, but
Mm-hmm. So, let's see where Bowser is going next. Bowser, that placement into the center provides some problems, quite frankly.
it provides good early leech, and Darklings need early leech in order to do very well a lot of the time. And so I like it on that front, but I don't think it's ever going to become part of a town. It's not even super clear it's going to help a one ship he can get to the brown, but even from there, where are you going? Unless you somehow are getting the blue next to that. But all right, so Bowser takes, I think, the wrong hex in my opinion. If this is the goal, I think he's supposed to take the black that's like across the river for mermaids, and that's the hex that really annoys mermaids if you take it. because mermaids almost certainly in round 1 want to dig that black and get to the blue in the upper left. So I think mermaids are going to get to that blue in the upper left, and now where is Bowser expanding from if that happens? The
Yep.
only way I think this makes sense is if Bowser is taking temp ship, and if he's taking temp ship, he should just be starting at the other black anyhow, because he has a better chance than of beating. Now he has to worry if FadiB's still gonna just dig it, which FadiB might. So
Yeah. Hold on.
okay.
All right, so let's look at where we are in this game. We're waiting for FadiB to place his second dwelling of the game down.
He has a lot of choices on this one as well. All of these placements are tough for these guys. The last Witches placement's going to be very interesting as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, theoretically, you can do center, and I don't think that's bad. I think double center is actually really good.
It's certainly reasonable. There's a lot of reasonable spots, especially if you're going to start Stronghold so you can fly around.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stronghold's reasonably strong on this map, precisely because it allows you to get to a lot of really good spots to expand quickly without needing shipping. But I'm not sure this scoring track necessarily encourages Stronghold. So
Yeah. He can also go by Darklings, which I don't think is a bad place to go either. 1 hex for 2 dwellings.
I think Witches going next to Darklings is potentially very reasonable. Nomads here are probably going to put one way down in the south, where there's the black hex between 2 yellows. That's just a really good sandstorm spot later. You can temp ship to another yellow too, or even just one ship. It does make connection a little tricky, but it gives really good expansion.
Yeah, it definitely makes connection very, very tricky. Especially with Darkling theoretically wanting to take out their ability, the center line that divides the center, or the center left and the east.
Yeah. So for those who aren't very familiar with this map, one of the tough parts about this is this kind of like central landmass that runs from the top to the bottom is pretty important. In order to do well on this map, you tend to need to have access to both sides of it. And that's not always a guarantee that you can do it. So if you start on opposite sides, it can be hard to connect. A lot of times, though, if you are able to get like good connection and be on both sides, that leads to a pretty strong game. So, Witches do make Mermaids sad by starting right here. This is exactly what happened in Group A when Nerd keeps starting next to me and made me sad. So.
But you did eventually win that game.
I did win it by just a handful of points, and so it's not completely over for Mermaids. Although the problem here is Mermaids have a Darklings in the game, and the Mermaids in this game paid 13 victory points compared to the Witches, where I was even with them. So I think FadiB is in for an uphill battle based on these starting locations and the opening bids. I think Witches are in a good location. I think Darklings are okay. I think Nomads are still fine, but they did pay quite a few points. And I think Nomads' biggest issue always is figuring out how to score.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not entirely convinced this game gives them easy answers to that.
Yeah, it really doesn't give them that many answers to the ability to score. They're I mean, there's no track there that says, okay, cool, I know exactly where I'm supposed to go, because theoretically you can get a stronghold, but you should be getting that stronghold in round 4 or 6, which for nomads is, I don't know, for me that stronghold isn't doing a lot if you're taking it around 4 or 6.
So round 4 strongholds can be pretty good. You're still getting 3 hexes. Before that, you spade a little. Around 6 though is really not going to get you much. So
Yeah.
that's a bit of an interesting location too. Um,
I
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it.
don't hate it either. I mean, he's gonna get a neighbor from, uh, the Darklings eventually, or the Mermaids even. He's going down south.
I would expect Darklings, except Darklings don't take temp ship. Mermaids get temp ship. So mermaids also get power this way. So mermaids are going to get the double dig. As I said early, this game is a bit spade tight in the early going. So I think fighting for spades is something we're going to see through the first couple rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Unless nomads are opening stronghold, that certainly would open up the spade pressure a bit, because then nomads aren't going to be fighting as heavily for spade. But
We see Bamboo Moose getting extremely close to his first warning on
oh yeah, the timer.
on timing.
Oh, although that's because this game, I think, was set. This game might have technically been set to fast time speeds, which, yeah, it accidentally was. So I'm not exactly sure how you want to enforce timers in this game, given that they did set it to fast instead of normal.
Well, this is what happens when you have an admin setting things up. This is what happens when you have your.
You were trying to set me up for the call, and I was making in life tough. So
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a caster, a director, a producer, and a tournament admin all in one human being. It things go a little wrong. And
I will say it on behalf of pretty much everybody watching, though. You've been doing an incredible job with this thus far, and I think a lot of people are excited. So I think you could be forgiven for having it set to fast time.
no, I'm out. I'm firing myself. No, sorry, I am firing tournament admin Chris. He's fired.
Okay.
Yeah, producer Chris, director Chris, still okay. They're still employed. TO Chris. That means we don't have a tournament, and therefore Fire 2 is canceled. I don't know what happens here. How do we have a...
So what are you... what are you expecting from round 1 here? Like, any surprises that you want to call?
No, I'm expecting a lot of rushing for... Oh, that's interesting. I was expecting a lot of rushes for Earth 1, but it looks like FadiB is taking double spade instead of that.
So, as I said, I think the game was quite spade tight, and when you're taking temp ship, I kind of thought this. I'm curious how many of these dwellings he's actually going to build this round, given that they score next round. I also agree with you. I think the rest of them are rushing Earth 1, though.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, FadiB just said that some of them don't have... Oh, nope, they're not rushing Earth 1. Logus is going Stronghold.
Okay.
I said I really like Stronghold Witches on this map. It lets you get around a lot of places that you want to be. With that said, FadiB already put a pretty big blow in Witches by taking that green that he dug.
Yep.
That green is pretty important for Witches connection, because FadiB would like to come way over in the left with the Darklings, but if he does that, he's probably never connecting those structures with the rest of his structures now, because that green is gone.
You can still take the green in the center and then shovel that gray. I don't think that's the worst thing to happen.
Green in the center and shovel. I'm talking about the stuff way on the left, on the west. Next
The west. Oh yeah, that's impossible. Yeah, that's 100% impossible.
But that's a great location, because it already has neighbors, and it's a real, like, there's 2 green hexes and you had 1 gray. Like, that's such a lovely spot for Witches that is basically, if Logus decides to go there, he's forgoing some network points. So and Logus is... I'm not sure what the Earth 1 is here. Mermaids are rushing that blue, as I said. I don't like... Oh, and Logus does still just go over way here in the west though, because it's just good expansion. But I don't think he's ever going to get to connect that with the rest of his structures.
I think now two things to note on the on Fatty here, right? So Fatty, we were playing a Fire and Ice game, the game that he came in 4th as Mermaid, and he said I should have gone big econ. That was my mistake. Why didn't I do this? This was obviously the correct play, right? And I feel like that's what he's trying to fix now, that problem, and I feel like this is not the time to do that, right? Because at this point he's getting a bunch of dwellings in round 1, and now he's gonna have to make a bunch of trading posts in round 2. And what is he doing with those trading posts? Not very much, if anything at all.
Yeah, he doesn't have to build trading posts, but yeah, he can't build much else. The other thing is this game broadly kind of said build a temple early, because if you get priests early and get to send them to the track, they turn into not only cult steps, but they turn into 2 coins at the end of round 3. Which is part of why I wasn't sure if witches were going to open stronghold. Although I guess I should have been. They did take the stronghold tile. So.
Yeah.
But witches or mermaids continue to just build dwellings. He's not going to temple for Earth 1. He's doing like a dwelling spree in round 1 without dwelling scoring. There's no dwelling pass tile for scoring either. So I don't love this from a points perspective. Economy, it's fine, but I broadly think top level, this isn't a game to be super focused on economy early. I think this is a game where points are going to be harder to find later.
Yep.
But we'll see how it plays out. Nomad's already passed. They got down 1 dwelling and they got Earth 1, but
they didn't get Earth 1 actually. They got Fire 1.
Oh god, they took Fire 1. Oh, and Darkleads took Earth 2. There's been no rush for Earth 1. Holy crap, I can't predict a thing this game. Now I understand how you guys feel.
Oh yeah, when everything you say is wrong.
Yeah, all of a sudden you look and you're like, oh, they did not take Earth 1. Darklead's taking Earth 2 here. I mean, it's fun. It gets you more workers. It gets you some more coins right away. Darkleads admittedly already have priests on the key cults this game. Like, they're getting tons of cult rewards. So he's also gone heavy economy. Assuming that Darklings get to go Sanctuary for Earth 1 next round, I think I really like this.
I think Darklings can go Sanctuary. No, they can't. No, never mind. They don't have that many workers.
No. But one of the benefits to taking Earth 2 early is it does usually help you build your Sanctuary while still keeping your worker income going. So and a Sanctuary is very good for Darklings, producing those 2 priests around. So I would expect to see Darklings make their Sanctuary next round. I honestly would expect Darklings to take the coins power action this round, and then try to pass their way onto that Sanctuary scoring tile. I don't think mermaids are going to take it. So
I honestly think they can take. They don't have to take coins this round. They can take that pass tile and then take coins first action next round.
They probably can. I also think there's very little risk to them taking coins. I just don't expect mermaids to try to pass their way onto that Sanctuary tile. They have 1 million workers.
That's fair.
Mermaids are not going to build a Sanctuary next round. They don't need more workers, but I guess what do the mermaids need that is on offer here? Like they can always take the ship scoring and score 3 points, but with that said, I think mermaids are potentially passing here. They might build a trading post.
Got it.
Where are they going to do it?
If they
build the trading post, they're just giving everyone leech. So
if I'm here, I have to upgrade to trading post, right? Because my economy is already on. If I'm Fatty here, my economy is already on life support, right? As far as coins go, right? Because the 2 coin bonus tiles are gone, right?
Coins are a bit limited. Honestly, your power is limited. It doesn't look like people are building next to you much this game.
Yep.
So I agree, the resources are tricky. I would also probably build the trading post, but I might build the trading post next to witches way over in east. Let's just go center. But Bowser does take workers.
I like the workers take. It allows him to get a to be sure that he gets the to be sure that he gets 2 dwellings down next round and get coin. And he's risking mermaids taking the past tile, but I don't think it's that huge of a risk, quite frankly.
So he's not gonna get dwellings down next round if he's gonna sanctuary, because he just doesn't have hex to build on. He has no neighboring things he can build on as part of his problem this game.
Okay. I do see
He
this.
doesn't even have. He has no brown or blue hexes next to him. So I don't know if I love that. I mean, if he takes coins here and he still passes for that sanctuary tile and he just earth ones, I think it's okay. But yeah, it's his expansion's rough. He does not take coins. He passes for temp ship. So I'm completely wrong. He's not sanctuarying. He is going to just try to build some dwellings. I think this is a bit wrong. I don't love the Earth 2 play from him if this is what he's going to do. I think Earth 2 is mostly strong when you take a Sanctuary and get a scoring favor with it pretty early.
Oh,
not
you know what he
getting
could
Earth 1
do? You know what he
not
could
great,
do?
but-
He could take this. He could build the sanctuary still, but then he could go ahead and build.
You're right. I see. Because of what he did and because of the coins he was already getting, he can sanctuary and still build a dwelling. Okay, maybe this is better though. If he's still going sanctuary for Earth 1 and then he's just building that dwelling, that is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Logus is flying as his first action. I think he has the power and he really wants to double dig, and so I would expect to see his next action be to double dig the gray way in the west over next to the darklings and this other gray next to the thing he just flew to.
Mm-hmm.
Mermaids, I honestly don't really know what they're doing this round.
They have to
They
take.
might take the coins.
Oh God, they need coins and they need the priest too. So.
Oh yeah, because sending priest to water is pretty nice here for the fact it gives you another priest back and it gives you another. So this is this is where I'm not sure mermaids were supposed to do their whole dwelling rush. I think he would have been better off building a temple last round and just building 2 dwellings and then building 2 dwellings here. He'd already have the priest descend to water.
Yep.
This is a bit awkward.
Yep. And this all stems back to literally 2 games ago for him, where he told them where he didn't do the dwelling or didn't do the dwelling rush and killed himself for it the rest of the game and got a hard 4th for it.
Wow, and these players continue to be fancy. He's taking Fire 1 here as well. This is not that coin tight of a game if you just build a temple in round 1 and you send priests to cults. Like, you can send priests to Earth Cult even and got 2 coins in round 1, you get 2 more coins later. There's coins on the pass tiles too. We have the 6 coin pass tile and a 4 coin pass tile. Like, I don't know what all of these coin production from Nomads and Mermaids are going to make it worth it this game. I don't. I personally felt this was not a great easy track to score on, and the way these guys are playing it, they're definitely going different. And Nomads take double dig, so witches don't get it, which I think he wanted it. So that's also interesting.
Yeah, witches definitely wanted it. He's gonna take single dig though, build there. That seems good enough.
Yeah, I mean he's still ending the round with stronghold and 5 dwellings.
Mm-hmm.
He has decent coins. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
He presumably will get a temple up next round, which I think is pretty perfectly timed. He should be able to take a copy of Water 1. So I like Witch's position. I think Nomads are doing fine, but I just not sure I love the Fire 1 instead of Earth 1. I just don't. Again, Nomads already have a strong economy because of starting with that extra dwelling, and their stronghold gives them an economic boost. So I generally think they need scoring more than they need economy.
Yeah, I think both the fire ones are just the weird time. I think Fatty's Fire 1 is fine if you have 8 more points because you ended up getting points for building dwellings, but
I'm guessing the Fire one is partly to pay for future shipping advances and score big off ship tile. So I also think the Fire one's gonna help him build. I think he's gonna build a second temple this round, probably for Earth one, maybe for Water one, this next upcoming round. And I don't hate that actually. It's reasonable.
okay. Alright, so here's my question, right? So this man is completely ignoring everything about cult tile, about cult bonuses, right? Or about round scoring, right? So round 1, he digs twice. Great. He's done that, right? Except he's building he built 4 dwellings, right? The moment the round before you were supposed to build dwellings. Next turn, he builds a temple. That's his only action is build a temple, taking the coin power town or taking the coin favor tile, right?
Yep.
Which is 1 more coin than his trading post is. And he does that the round before the temple round.
Yeah.
What is happening? Like,
I mean, that's what I mean. I don't necessarily know if I love the ordering of Fatty's game. I think just building a temple round 1, you have the priest to send to water. You build the same dwellings now this round. You have slightly fewer workers, but you have some cult already secure. Like you have a bit of cult progress and cult bonuses secured. I think that's a better trade, but as is, yeah. I mean, there's no really culty faction in this game, so the cults are a really interesting battle, and Bowser's doing pretty great on
yeah.
the ones that mattered. I guess Fire Track matters too, and Nomads have built that up, so that's cool. But I also like Bowser sneaking up into the north here. He probably beats Fatty to this black unless Fatty's going to dig it with his first action next round, and I don't even know if Fatty really wants that black. So Darklings are doing some things. Darklings did take Earth 1. Somebody in this game cares about scoring. I like that. Bowser did take power for more workers, so he is going to actually get to build it. So, yeah, he has a good economy, and he has a sanctuary.
And he has points.
Points.
I think he is by far the favorite to win this game right now.
I think Logus is still in a good position. Logus started with more points. He has points. He has a strong economy, and I'm guessing he's going to temple for Water 1, so he has a pretty clear path to more points. Plus, he's witches, so he hopefully gets at least 2 towns this game for points. So yes, I like that. Nomads, like I say, they have great economy going. I just don't like the fact that he has no clear path to points. It does look like Nomads just took the ship scoring tile, so Nomads might be planning a ship advance next round at least. That's something, but
that's something. That's some of my points.
After 2 rounds, I like Darklings and Witches. Quite a bit.
Yeah, after 2 rounds, I'm predicting Bowser first, Logus second, and I don't know 3rd and 4th. I just don't know 3rd and 4th.
I'm still going Fatty. Mermaids, I mean, he still has a pretty good setup here. I mean, he still has 5 dwellings and a temple. He gets coins here. He probably takes a second temple for Water 1. But I like Bowser's game. He has 3 priests, 6 workers, 10 coins. He has 4 coins coming at the end of this round from cults. He has cult points.
Yeah.
Probably. The only thing for Darklings is it's not clear where his towns are, and it's far from clear he ever connects. But that's not all. If Bowser just even gets a little bit of shipping, I honestly think Bowser can. If Bowser ships 1, I think he can take this brown hex in the center and then dig over to this blue, and suddenly he's looking at a lot of different hexes from there. We have a Earth 1 from Nomads, so now Nomads have some scoring. I like that. I guess given this track had a second temple event, it's not super crazy to take Econ and assume you can take a scoring favor in round 3, but I'm not sure that Nomads wouldn't have been better off this game by just being super boring and going Earth 1, Water 1, but
Yeah, I think if my thought process right now is that Bowser, and the reason why I'm saying Bowser is so much of a better so much of a better position is that he has tempo on scoring favors. So while everybody else is trying to catch up on Earth 1, like Bamboo Mouse did right there, right? He doesn't even worry about it. He's already got it. He's worrying about when he's getting Water 1, which I assume is this round.
It could be. It looks a little overextending his economy to build another temple here, but not wildly so.
Well,
So
okay.
I will be curious how he plays this.
Look at it this way, right? So in this instance, right? He puts one priest on a cult track, maybe taking the 3 on air cult track, or even just 2 on blue, 2 on water, and then he gets 6 coins next round, along with all the workers he's doing.
Actually, no, that's a really strong point. And actually, I really love that he just took the air 3-step as well. I think he's setting up strong cult scoring, and you're right, he has 6 coins coming in. So building a temple is actually not overextending his economy like I was initially thinking it might be. You're totally right. He can absolutely afford to just build a temple, and he gets a bunch of coins from the track. His power the rest of the game is essentially just for coins, because he'd be producing 3 priests around. He produces plenty of workers between the couple of dwellings he has down and Earth 2.
Yep.
So you're right. Yeah, I really like that. Logus builds the temple as we expected, but he does take Earth 1, because it's still there, and I guess that's reasonable. It's always a little weird to me when you take Earth 1 after you've already built so many dwellings.
Yeah.
But he's clearly going to continue building a lot more. I'm just thinking this might have been one of those cases where Water 1 potentially scores more, but he might be planning to Sanctuary for Water 1 next round. Um, in which case, I agree, this is the correct order to take them in.
Yeah. So Bowser decides to go take that yellow hex. I'm interested in that decision. I don't love that decision.
I think it's good. He's setting up his town location, and he eventually needs that yellow to bridge, right?
Yeah, but that yellow isn't under contention. No part of that yellow is being fought over.
What would you rather he do with his priests? Send more to cults, or...
So okay, what I'd rather him do? That's fair. That's a very fair point. I don't know what I'd rather him do. I'd rather him have shipping already, but and then go down to
Okay.
but
I would rather see him have shipping too. I mean, this is a little bit why I say he might be a little coin tight, even with getting 6 coins here. He's only going to enter next round with 6 coins. Although there are enough coins on the pass tiles. If he's able to get some coins off the pass as well, he should have enough to maybe think about one ship, build a few more dwellings, build some trading posts. But Mermaids took Water 1 with the second temple. That was kind of predicted.
Yep.
Logus is passing, which he passes for Big Billy. Oh no, he doesn't. That's not Big Billy. That's trading posts.
yeah, there were 3 coins that
I'll be
trading
really
post.
curious to see how Logus plays this next round. Yeah, it was a good tile. I'm very curious how he's going to play this though, because the trading post scoring is round 5. So I'm not. Was that a 1 worker 3 coin tile, or is he going to go like Sanctuary, Water 1, build like a trading post and a dwelling or 2?
He can build 2 or 3 trading posts because he's gonna get the coins as well.
He is. But some part of my point is, how many do you really want to build if the next round after that is trading post scoring? And that's always the tricky part, because he has the pass tile, it's only a 1 victory point difference. So he might just be planning to build a lot of them because it's good for his economy, and then he builds a few more the round after, and that's fine.
Yep, there's Water 1. Oh, what a beautiful Water 1 that is.
Yeah, Darkling's take it. You're right. You convinced me of it though. Once you, I did forget that he had a nice amount of cult coins coming in. Without those cult coins, I think it's overextending a bit. Very, very fine play.
Darklings are absolutely dominating this game. I
still like witches quite a bit. I think they still have good things. Mermaids though, I am still hesitant on. Although he has a ton of resources, I should give FadiB some credit. I mean, he has just gobs of stuff here, but I don't love that he doesn't have Earth 1. He has Water 1 to score with, and he does have coins. I think he really has to try to get on that ship pass tile.
Yep.
And abuse ship scoring this game at this point, though.
Absolutely. And I don't know that he can do it. That's the one problem, is like, how does he do that?
He gets to outlast Nomads, certainly, but the question is, what is Darkling's gonna try to pass for the round? What do they even want? I'm not 100% sure. What's Nomads doing? I feel we haven't talked about their game. They have 2 temples, 3 dwellings, and a trading post. So they have a decent economy. Do you think this trading post is going to be their stronghold next round?
Probably. I would imagine that's going to be the case. And then they're going to sandstorm that gray, and then they're going to take that yellow.
Do you think it's the gray? I think it might be the black, because I think they might be trying to ship their way to this yellow and then try to sandstorm their way to connection.
Yeah, that
north.
that
I'm
makes
not
sense.
entirely sure.
Yeah, that, and then if he is able to get a sanctuary, that makes that sanctuary becomes Fire 2, and he makes a town out of that. So overall,
So that's the confusing part to me. I don't think he has a pile of resources where he can possibly sanctuary and stronghold next round, but it looks like he does want a sanctuary for Fire 2, partly because of the cult bonus and because he'd get a town. But it also looks like he wants a stronghold. Mermaids are getting a town without any mermaid ability down here, which is always kind of fun to watch.
it is always fun.
Nomads just spent power for workers, so
They're definitely going for the.
I generally just very broadly am not a fan of that.
So here's what's happening, and I can tell you this without a doubt. He's passing for coins. He is going to get a coin town, and then he is going to make the stronghold.
Okay.
He's gonna get Sanctuary, Fire 2, and then which isn't a bad form or line of events, actually.
It's actually not that bad. No, you're right. I generally am just a little hesitant when one spends power for workers. Workers tend to be a thing you can get a lot of in this game if you just set up your economy well, and I think it's harder to find your way towards coins, but you explained his plan well. The only concern I have with that is, again, the coins after that for building trading posts in the next round, but I guess he does have Fire 1, and he might just be that he uses his power. I don't know. We'll see. But I think you're right. I think he's going to Sanctuary Fire 2, build a stronghold, and hopefully build some dwellings. I mean, it's an expensive line, but I guess he's producing 11 coins, then he takes a coin town, he has 17. Yeah, never mind. It works out pretty well.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be tight. He's going to be very coin tight. But if I'm Nomads, that's what I am doing. That's, in my mind, what's happening next round. Is that sequence.
I missed that Bowser already got his bridge. I also really like that. Bridges tend to be more contested on this map just because of where the water is. With that said, I'm not actually clear how many people want bridges this game yet, so I'm not totally sure there was a huge fight for it, but I am just broadly a fan of getting it out of the way.
Yeah, just get it out of the way. Be done with it. So, okay, Darkling's Pass for Priest here, which is
there was 2 coins. There was 2 coins on it. I think it was his best option at the time.
Yeah,
that's fair. Necessarily get what he wanted on the pass. I do think he wanted to find some more coins, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, he will be okay in terms of coins. Because this round he gets to build probably some trading posts, and then the next round he gets to build even more trading posts.
I was about to say, this is always, it's always the kind of tricky thing. How many does he build here, and how many does he build next round? He still does have some expansion issues. I think he really does need to figure out a time to get 1 shipping so that he can actually start expanding a bit more.
I think, okay, if I'm him, right? If I'm him right now, I am thinking about doing I'm thinking if I'm making the sanctuary a town. Oh, okay.
Oh, we do just see Stronghold. So
Yeah.
we're probably not seeing Sanctuary.
Yeah, we're almost certainly not seeing Sanctuary then. Rest in
Well,
peace, product
actually,
placement.
Sanctuary is only 6 coins. He could
Yeah.
just convert power to coin. It's just not necessarily the order I thought we were gonna see it in.
Yeah. Definitely not the order I thought. Okay.
I feel like we almost have to see Sanctuary though, because otherwise I feel like the 2 workers still make no sense to me. But we'll find out. Whoa, Darklin's taking a move I did not anticipate.
Oh, I saw that. That was what I was getting to with my talk on this, right?
Oh, okay.
So he's going to expand out a little bit, build some trading posts, get a little bit of points for them, all very good things. And then next round he's going to be building. He's going to take he's going to build more trading posts, and when he runs out of trading posts, he's going to build a temple and then build one more, and he's going to take water 1. This is a standard as
Wait,
heck.
Darklings already have water 1.
Sorry,
Air
air 1, yeah, air 1.
Okay.
I was hitting the
But
points
why-
until I messed up the cult.
What's this dwelling doing though? Is he trying to ship 1 and take this brown so that he actually can connect?
Oh no! He's trying to make a town. This man's
He's
trying to
gonna
make
take this other triple red.
Oh yeah, he's taking that other triple red.
Other triple dig. I mean, I obviously am well acquainted with 6 spade, 1 bridge towns. So I lived that life in group 1, game 1. So I could see it happening again.
Yeah, it is. It's not the best thing for it, but he's got so many priests. Does it even matter? Go ahead.
One thing that I appear to have been wrong on is that Logus has not sanctuaried for Water 1 yet. He might just think that there's no pressure and he wanted to secure the spaces he has, or I might have just been wrong about that. But given that I just thought it likely that's what he wanted to do this round.
Oh no, he had to do that right there because if not, nomads can sandstorm that spot.
You're right, because nomads have the sands. Okay, there we go. That's what I missed. You're right.
Yeah, it's so he may miss out on water 1 because nomads take water 1 when they build their sanctuary this round.
They could. I'm curious if they will or if they are going to fire 2.
Mm-hmm.
But we will find out. I mean, these players clearly don't seem to have understood the lesson that fire 2 is how you win in this fire 2 tournaments.
Yeah.
So who is going to be the first to fire 2 this game?
What they don't know is that if you do win your game and you did not take fire 2, you're actually ejected.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
you're ejected.
Right, does get water 1, so you're letting the secrets out, Chris.
Oh, what did nomads do then? What were nomads play there? Okay, there's
Nomads took 2 more workers with their power.
Okay.
And he does go fire 2, and he's going to take a coin town, and now he has the workers to build his dwellings.
Yeah, this man loves his coin towns.
Well, and I understand why he loves his coin towns. He just, over the last 2 rounds, he took the worker action both rounds. I generally don't like those sequence of events. Spending your power on the workers action is... I get why he did it. I get what it's helping him do, but I'm not sure the whole sequence is
correct.
Most efficient. With that said, Bamboo is the first to fire 2, and if we've learned anything, he probably should be the favorite now, right?
Yep. Oh, can't believe I'm not. Who don't you know? Ondas has him.
He is getting another town this round because he's gonna presumably take this southern black and build the yellow, so he'll have a stronghold and 3 dwellings. Will be a second town right away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he will do with that. I think this is a game where nobody's fighting that hard for the cults. It's probably a little late to get a ton of utility out of the 2 key town, but I think the 8-point towns are helpful to picking up potential thirds and seconds on the cults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
Darklings are also going for a town this round. He
Yep.
builds
I'm gonna say
2 trading posts, and
maybe
he's
shipping
gonna want
town?
more next. Yeah, it could be. He does need shipping at some point.
But probably coins if I had to. Yeah, I would say coins if I'm him. I'm taking coins. It's
Because
if it's between.
he has enough priests that he can probably just afford. The only thing the
Yeah.
ship town might allow him is he technically could probably build that brown hex right away, and that would set up securing connection. I'm not entirely clear yet who cares about connection and how valuable it is for each competitor.
It would also give
Because
him.
basically nobody's connected yet, right? So like it's not actually clear what the network situation is going to be this game at all, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it would. The only other thing it would give him is give him tempo on his on which on taking the stronghold. The stronghold sanctuary bonus tile.
Mm.
That's the only other thing because he has to get to that red hex first if he wants that red hex. So he does take shipping.
Take shipping done. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's pretty reasonable. I think connection is, as I was saying, like trying to look at the situation. I think even though I don't think his network is going to be huge this game, I think just a connected network could win this game because some of the guys that are going to have huge networks, like witches, I don't think witches are ever connected. The
Yeah,
only way witches connect is if they get this red hex that's next to nomads in the north,
Mhm.
and I mean, admittedly, nomads have shown no care about it, and it's a double dig for witches. But I don't know. I also lied earlier when I said I hadn't seen any bridge pressure, but witches almost certainly want to bridge to this very top gray off of their stronghold because their
Absolutely.
stronghold should be part of a town. Yeah, I did forget about that. They might want to bridge for this central. Well, maybe not the central town. They probably could just take this blue and this gray.
Yeah, they can take the blue and the gray. They're not worried about that.
Yeah, they don't have to bridge to that other green. But yeah, I still think I like what witches are up to. Oh, witches go there. I guess he's just, yeah, never mind. Actually, it's not that shocking. He has very few other green hexes to fly to.
Yeah. He could have dug a green hex before that, but yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really like the fact that he is ready to build a lot of trading posts with Water 1 next round. And
with
still
what
has a good number of points
coins?
currently, and still has. Well, he builds one here, and then I mean, he either passes for coins, or I mean, that's what power is for. He has a bunch of power, and it could be for spades, but it can be for
Yep.
trading posts. Bowser passes probably for the ship. Yep, ship scoring. He'll be able to take the power action for coins. He probably advances ship at least once more. He builds a few trading posts. I don't know what else he does, but all of that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I think he is in a commanding lead.
I still think witches are very much like right even with him.
Now, okay.
I think mermaids at 26 points are still. I don't like mermaids. I think.
Oh, he's going a hard
tough
fourth.
game.
I will get at least one prediction right in my games,
right.
and it
Okay.
is, and it's that one, and it's gonna be one of those that like, it's one of those that everyone says that's dumb, and how dare you say that? That one for your group was you coming in first in Fire and Ice, and in this group it's him coming in fourth in Fire and Ice.
We'll see here.
I know my Fire and Ice. I know my Fire and Ice.
That could be. I again, yeah, I don't totally see what mermaids are up to. I see that he has one town. I think I still trust that he gets a second town in the east around that witch's dwelling. He has plenty of time to dig that black and reach the blue way up there and muck about with that stuff. I'm not even sure how he 3 towns though, because this central temple, like, it's just an awkward spot in order to make a town. Maybe he double digs the gray and like bridges and somehow makes it happen, but so if he's just 2 towning and he's not doing much on network, and cult-wise, he's winning water cults, and he's already behind points, and he doesn't have water 1 for next round. I just don't see where this game is going.
Yeah, I don't either, and that's my concern for him.
That's definitely my concern as well. My concern for Nomads is their long-term coin situation. He's going to build another dwelling this round, but he's currently just has Fire 1 for coins, and he gets 1 million workers from the cults as well. But I at least generally see what he's up to. The only other concern I have for him is, as we were just saying, I think witches want to try to potentially take the blue and the gray that are south of the nomads, and I'm not sure how nomads are going to connect then.
I don't think nomads are connecting.
And that's what I mean. Like, a lot of these players aren't too focused on connection, and they're gonna have pretty meager networks because of that. And I just don't. There's a lot of points to be had in this game for network, and I'm not sure who's seizing them. And I think that is gonna be a decent part of who wins this game, and that's probably part of why you think Darklings are potentially winning. I'm just not clear that Darklings have much room to expand in terms of the total number of hexes they're gonna get this game.
Okay, so witches go ahead and go ahead and bridge over to the west and to the east, and to say that I hate that bridge is putting it the most mildly humanly possible.
That is an interesting bridge. I'm surprised it's not off of the stronghold to the north.
Yeah.
I guess that encourages people to mess with your gray hex, but like nobody's going to probably.
Yeah.
And this bridge over here, I agree, doesn't seem critical.
If he wanted to do this, the best course of action was, instead of this, shoveling last round, not building on that blue. It's one more power, and then you don't have this awkward timing. You always, at least when I play witches, I always want to have this out whenever I'm playing and say, okay, cool, I have this one hex that I can go to if I'm being pressured too much for my witches ride.
Yeah, I'm also kind of surprised he took that, just because, well, and also nomads here. Like, there's an 8-point pass tile sitting here for witches and nomads currently, and the big building pass tile.
Yeah.
And that's 8 points, people. Like I'm
8 points, 8 points.
Taking it here. Yep,
nope.
There it is.
Nomad's taking it. Yep.
I think it's a bit sad for Logus that he didn't get that. He already has a sanctuary and a stronghold set up, and he took a bridge that I'm not sure he. Oh no, his last action was actually to build a trading post, which makes sense.
Yeah,
you're right.
But
this bridge action this round, I'm not sure I'm sold on either.
This bridge was a tragedy. So
I don't know if it's quite a tragedy, but
it is a great tragedy. Okay, don't question this. This is every bit of Hamlet.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what do I say to this? I don't know what to say.
I'm curious what mermaids are doing the rest of this round too. There is still a copy of. Oh no, there is no copy of Water 1. Whoops. Yeah, mermaids have Water 1. Okay, so mermaids are set up to score quite a bit next round. So I'll at least give them that. But I mean, they're nearly 20 points behind all their competitors currently, so there's that too.
I feel like you were just giving witches. Are you giving mermaids just like participation prizes every second? It's just like,
I'm probably being too harsh on him, and yet I'm trying. Like, it's partly every time I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out where his game is headed. Ooh,
he's upgraded digging, right? Which is
he upgraded digging once, and now he just dug this brown to black.
Oh, he's stalling. That's what he's doing. He's stalling.
He's stalling to get Logus's pass tile. So I do understand that, because now Logus might have converted to build a trading post, but he is stalling, so that was smart. And he builds on this, and this does secure. He probably gets a third town now because of this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he does secure a really important pass tile. So the other kind of wild thing about taking this is he has outside shots to connect now. It's a little wild, but with 5 shipping, if he gets
That
I guess he
brown.
still needs like a red hex or that brown hex.
Yeah,
but
that's.
he could.
Oh,
It's asking a lot. It's
that's asking
that's
a
my
lot.
opinion.
Now,
But
if he upgrades digging again, maybe. But when does he have room to upgrade digging again?
he doesn't have enough resources to upgrade digging, advance ship, hit 3 towns, and like I think that's too many resources.
It's
Now, at this point in the game, I mean, it is possible I'm just completely wrong. There's a chance that mermaids have said, "Screw this dwelling way in the east. It's just not part of my network, and I'm not even going to expand off of it. And I'm just going to try to make a good network in the center by all this stuff I have." And if he advances digging, that helps give him options for building more dwellings. But I'm not sure I see it overall. But
yeah, it's just
we'll
it
find
is
out.
weird.
Darkly took coins to open this round, right?
Yeah,
I'm
Darkness
trying to-
took coins. Yeah, of course they took
did what
coins.
expected there.
I don't.
Oh, there's another fire 2 sighting, right? Or no, he just made a town and he took the 8-pointer.
Yep.
So I do like the 8-pointer, as I said earlier. I think there's definitely room to fight on cults this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am a little surprised that he isn't taking fire 2 though. Oh, mermaids are not taking fire 2 either. They're just making a town. So I'm partly say it's surprising because making 3 towns without fire 2 is often a bit of a stretch, particularly for witches. I'm not sure I see it. So witches might be saying that they're only going to take 2 towns this game. Mermaids, by doing this, are kind of also saying to me that they're just taking 2 towns.
Yep.
And Fatty agrees that the 8-pointers look strong here. He just took the other one, so
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
Darklings need to double dig, right, or triple dig right now.
Do you think they're gonna take this red hex and
Oh,
set
they
up
gotta take.
their
They
other town, and then he
gotta
builds
take-
those two, and those two spots become his 2 trading posts this round?
Yeah. Oh, they. Yeah, he needs to.
I mean, he has the power. Oh, he partially digs it.
Oh, I am so
He's
interested in this.
he's trying to get fancy, and he's gonna dig it 1 hex at a time to try to stall out this round in order to get a pass tile. That's like about the only reason to do it, and
Oh,
that's some high level stuff.
that's so good. I
Logus
love it.
hard digs that, which totally makes sense because that's one of his towns. He builds two trading posts off this. I'm just really surprised. I'm fairly surprised that he's not trying to 3 town, but I mean at the same time Logus has again plenty of points, so just directly. But
Yeah, I don't.
Darkling's digging this one at a time are quite surprising to me though.
I think
Especially with mermaids having partially upgraded digging, it's I guess mermaids aren't gonna take it from you, but
so. Okay, so here's the logic of here's the reason why that happened, right? So he dug it specifically to yellow, right? Because it's 3 away from both witches and mermaids. Now,
yeah.
he will not do. He won't. He's not going to dig it once a time anymore, right? Because he doesn't want it to be close to anyone else. But yeah, digging it to the yellow is perfect.
Whoa, nomads didn't build. Oh, nomads are out of dwellings. That I guess that wasn't a mistake. He's probably worried that Logus was still gonna just like triple dig that gray or something. But
Yeah.
assuming nomads get away with building a trading post and then that dwelling and then another trading post, nomads are setting up a clear. They have a very clear 3rd town right here in the center, and they're gonna connect. And never mind. It's a bit of a stretch. I was about to say they might yet squeak out a 4th town in the last round in the upper right,
Oh,
but
let's
I
not.
forgot about their one dwelling.
Let's not.
I forgot about their one dwelling that's kind of off doing nothing. They're
Yep.
if they didn't have that there, they hitting 15 structures for 4 towns is possible, but I don't think nomads are hitting 16 structures this game, which is what it would require in order to. So 4 towns dead. I'm crazy, but the 3 towns are clearly happening. Any nomads are getting network, so I mean, I like that for nomads. I'm still a little concerned because all the trading posts that nomads build this round are not backed by Water 1, and although he passes for 8, and if he wins network, I don't know. Nomads are doing reasonable things too.
Yep, there's that bridge, and we're
Yeah.
off. Yeah, this is great.
You were correct. Good call on the 6-1 bridge town.
Yeah. Oh, this was the second he had 4 priests. The second I had 4 priests as darklings, I'm saying, where can I make the most inefficient digs ever?
Yeah, I mean that is what's happening. Logus continues pumping out these 6-point trading posts.
Yeah, these trading posts are great. Love these trading posts. Yeah, the more I'm looking at this game, the better the game looks for Logus. Except he doesn't have a pass tile, and I'm not sure he's gonna get a pass tile this. No, he will. He'll get mermaids.
Probably. I mean, Logus is somewhat running out of actions. I would not be shocked to watch Logus's next move be to take the 3-power priest, just because 3-power priest is one of the most efficient ways to get more actions, because you spend an action to get the priest, and then you spend another action using the priest. Um, and yeah, Logus really just would like any of these. Well, it's not actually super clear he wants the ship pastile, because I don't think he's going for 3 shipping, because he's, again, not connecting, or at least I don't predict he's connecting. He
Yeah.
he still has this red hex that nomads haven't touched, and he might connect via that. A worker town for mermaids. What's he doing
Yeah.
with that? He's just
Stalling.
building one more trading post.
He's stalling.
Yeah,
Okay, so
he's partly stalling. It does let him build one more trading post too, which is very good.
hear me out on this. Hear me out on it, right? So if you're fatty here, right? Is your objective to stall out the rest of this round? Because no, actually it's not. There's no scenario where fatty advances if if he gets 4th, actually. There is no scenario. No, there is a scenario. Yeah, there's no scenario.
Wow.
Back to
Okay, witches did. I was right. Witches did just double dig this actually though. So witches are gonna connect to this game.
Yep.
So witches are also on board the network train. This is weird though, because if he has this, oh god, this is, yeah. I mean, he can't make a town off of this. Getting only 2 towns as witches when you're so close to a third is a bit painful, but
It is extremely painful.
it is, as was just said in the chat. It was a bit surprised that nomads never took that. This nomad starting location is looking like a mistake, which was a little bit what I thought from the start of this game, but I mean, I wasn't sure. I kind of liked it. If he had actually dug off this and taken the red and the brown, he certainly would have messed with his opponent's games and would have carved out some space for himself. But
Yeah.
I guess he just had other priorities. So
Yeah, he just didn't make time for it. That was his problem. He just didn't make time for it. He didn't make time nor the resources for it, and that was, again, those were your issues.
yeah. But anyhow, yeah, I don't really know what. I don't know what Mermaid's plan is from here, because I mean, he can send a priest somewhere, but it doesn't look like he's getting a pass tile, because Darklings and Nomads have just too much to keep doing this round. So I don't see any scenario where Fatty outlasts them. So he doesn't get a pass tile, and so after passing, he's at 76 points. He's already built his 2 towns. I'm not. He did finally upgrade over here. It's not clear. Like, maybe he's making a 3rd town and he builds a stronghold and a sanctuary in the last round. Like, he doesn't have that many resources, so he builds one of those in the final round. Um, yeah, I don't know where enough points come from. Like, I feel like Fatty's on the pace for like 100 points, and that's
No,
obviously
that's
not going to win this game. But I literally struggled to come up with more than like 110 for him right now.
yeah. There's I redid the math and I was correct. I was correct before. There is no scenario where Fatty gets 4th and he advances.
Oh, because somebody else has to get a first, and so yeah, that's
Correct.
Fatty would only have 6 points overall. So yeah, interesting. Wow, that's gonna be really sad after winning the first game. He might not.
So dominantly too.
Yeah, that's wild.
So yeah, And then Bowser needs a first to advance.
I think this game is potentially coming down to if is Logus or is Bowser winning this game and moving on.
Yeah.
I guess Bamboo Mouse also could potentially win and move on. I once again think Bamboo Mouse is just a little short on points.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
get that they're passing for 8. They have another town, but they advance ship a few times. They at least have a cult. They have some network. So I definitely like those factors. But it still adds up to like, I don't know, mid 120s, I think. And I think both Logus and Bowser potentially have ways to 130 plus.
Mm-hmm.
The air cult in particular is very open right now, so it's a little hard for me to estimate how that's going to break. And network is still up in the air a bit. I mean, Logus has connected and he's got a 3 ship, so I presume he wins it. But I mean, Nomads is not that far behind either. So I think it's kind of between those two on who's going to potentially get those 18 points.
Mm-hmm.
Darklings did get 3 shipping,
Yeah.
and he potentially can connect, but I don't think it's going to get him anything because, as I was worried about earlier, he still just has way too many dwellings on his board.
Yeah, but he's gonna build all those dwellings next round. Not all of them, but he's gonna build most of them next round.
I guess you're
two.
right. He's gonna double dig this yellow because he needs it to connect.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, though, he hopefully reaches some of these blacks in the bottom left. I still just don't know if there's enough territory for him to build many, but we will find out. He is passing for another 9 points, though, so he's at 94 already.
And he's going to get a pass tile too. He's getting
He did
Fatty's
pretty
pass
well
tile.
on Colts. Oh, and he gets Fatty's pass tile.
Yeah,
which
he has
brings
another
up
8 points too.
Yeah, that's really good for him. Although, oh, it's awkward, I see, because Bowser has to pass, but Fatty also does. So Fatty passes, then Bowser instantly gets to pass for what he really wants.
Yep.
Okay, and then Logus is trying to figure out if he can outlast Nomads here or not, and the answer is he can't. He could send a priest to... Oh, he's deciding if he wants power. I see. He's deciding if he wants power because he wants to figure out if he can outlast.
Yeah, I mean he's fine. He passes. Oh, he may. Oh,
He wants to. I think he's gonna burn power to take a priest and continue Outlast. Although, God, Nomads just have too many actions. Assuming Nomads actually want to be like that, which they
yeah,
probably do.
they should, but I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's that good of a player.
He has so many priests that he could easily delay, right? But yeah, it will be interesting how that resolves. I'm not even sure Logus will spend power to take a priest, but I guess Logus will pay attention to see what happens here because.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Fatty just takes, I don't know what, looks like it takes the 4 coins in a cult tile probably.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what he can do much from here. So what do you want to predict the finish order as here?
Same as before. It's Darklings, then Witches, then Nomads. I'm set on that. Then Nomads, then Mermaids. That's
I
my.
still think I prefer Logus first. I might even go Nomad second, Darklings third.
Don't you put that voodoo on me.
Well, so the issue is Darklings, I see a couple cult points, and I see that they get more pass points, so they're going to have just a lot of pure points, but I don't actually think they're going to network. And they certainly aren't going to stronghold this last round. Like, they are only producing 3 workers. So, like, Darklings are only building 3 dwellings and digging a bunch. Like...
No, they're
Oh,
they're
producing
good
4 workers. Yeah, that pass worker is really good for Bowser too.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah. If he is able to get 4 dwellings, and he probably can.
Yeah. He's getting 4 dwellings.
He will end the game at like 120, and then cults will get him to mid 130s.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to get network points, I think, is the problem. I think that's why I'm hesitant. But I'm not sure, actually, Nomads hit 130. So I'll go Witches, Darklings, Nomads, Mermaids is my guess. Although, oh god, Nomads have less points than I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Mermaids do sneak this out. I forgot about the Cult Spades here, too. I think FadiB does get to dig. I'm guessing he's going to dig in the east, and maybe he is going to carve himself a third town yet.
It'll be interesting if Nomad or if FadiB ends up getting third and therefore is able to advance through that.
That would
Through-
be impressive.
through
Yeah,
a-
if he sneaks it over Nomads, because Nomads are really struggling for points.
Yeah.
So this is broadly, I mean, not to harp too much on the Nomads game, but so broadly from the very get-go, I was hesitant on the Fire 1 because I said Nomads struggled usually in scoring more than they score economy. Nomads have built a lot of stuff this game, and that's potentially why they're going to get on network, but I do think this is that kind of top-level strategic error potentially,
Mm-hmm.
in that this setup, you really just needed more points than you needed more economy.
Yep. That is a very risky shuttle.
Spade?
Yeah.
I mean, he really wants to connect, and I mean, what's going to happen? Is FadiB digging that as first move? No. He
Yeah.
takes the coins as he's supposed to, and then Darklings take it right here.
That's fair. Okay. All right. He's fine then.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Bowser's last round is totally, he's just going to build 4 dwellings. He has the perfect resources for 4 dwellings. He winds up with some extra power, which maybe just turns it into a priest or something, and
Yeah. Fastest get 8 points.
whoa, no, bridge block. Oh, fun. I don't even know who that hurts. I'm not even sure it hurts anyone, actually, but
I don't
Wow.
love the bridge block.
he didn't need that bridge. Yeah, I think that actually just cost him a point.
I think it cost him more than a point. I think it cost him a lot more than a point.
Well, what's he going to do with those resources? Well, it might have cost him 2 points. He could have taken priest, and a priest was probably 2 points for him.
Yeah. 1, 2.
But he has the resources for 4 dwellings. He doesn't need anything more.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But I don't think he needed to do that because I don't think witches were trying to town in the north. Like, I don't think Logus could have made it. I don't think Logus has enough to build a bridge and 2 dwellings and take fire 2, but maybe he could have. So
Yeah, it's one of those maybe situations.
yeah, I don't think it was necessary either. But all right. I'm notorious for trying to calculate out the end game scores, so I probably shouldn't while I'm trying to broadcast with you, and yet.
And on top of that, he could have built a dwelling if everything went perfectly for him, right? He could have done done 2 digs for those 2 browns, done a dig for that blue, and then 2 more dwellings. 5 power is a worker and 2 coins.
Oh, 5 power is a worker, 2 coins, and that extra dwelling could have really helped him on network potentially because he would have got down to 5 structures with what you just listed.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's helping him. I think that's helping him in that.
It might have helped him against mermaids.
Mermaids have the ability to build a lot of things. I don't think it's really helping him that much.
Probably not. So remember, go back to mermaids though, advance their dig, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like he's trying to make another town, but he hasn't fire 2'd yet. So I mean, I guess he fire 2s in order to make this town. But I was starting to wonder if Mermaid's plan was actually to advance ship enough times and then dig this red. He could have connected on 4 shipping through the north by taking this red that's between the green and the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he had enough workers to do it. So I guess what? He's going to build 2 more dwellings. He builds a temple and a trading post that's 6 workers. Some of his priests might be workers, but he can take 1 more town.
Yeah, this is really awkward. This is a real awkward situation for
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't think he has the resources that he wants to sanctuary or stronghold. But I literally think this last round we're going to see no sanctuaries and no strongholds.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. That's often happens.
It makes a little sense because the other ones already got built earlier. But
Yeah.
this does really kind of highlight back to the start where I said this looked like a tight situation to score in because your point ceiling is limited in the end, and that's what makes point favors better and what makes economic ones slightly less interesting. So, I mean, look at the two people that are winning this game. They went points favors. I mean, Bowser admittedly took one economic favor, but that's because it helped finances early. It helped his economic favor helped him build two more favors very quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
those favors were scoring. And I think those two players are doing better than the other two players this game.
Exactly. This is very interesting. Okay.
I missed to take account in the past too. I forgot mermaids aren't passing for anything. That's a bit rough. Logus has a guaranteed 8 on the pass. Darklings also have 8 because he's clearly not replacing any. Nomads are probably passing for 9. So yeah, that's a lot of points for his opponents as well that Fatty doesn't have. So yeah, it looks like Fatty's probably is gonna take last, and that's
Yeah,
rough for winning game
it's
1.
real rough for winning game 1. When you win game 1, you're just like, I don't know, what do I do with this? Speaking of which, what does Bamboo do with his last resources? I mean,
So he has to
Air
advance ship
one.
twice.
Yeah.
He needs to connect, and it's just a lot of points on his pass tile. He's fighting Logus for network. It looks like Logus will get his last 2 dwellings out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, is he? Yeah, he does. He'll just hard dig. Or maybe he uses power. I don't know. But regardless, Logus will get his last 2 dwellings out. So Logus is to do 15. Bamboo could build 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings to also hit 15. And then probably has just enough for 2 shipping advances. And God, he has a lot of priests. He probably should start sending priests to Earth just because he can, and he could get second place on Earth while there's still slots open.
Yeah. I think. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna harp back around to the statement that I said earlier, right? Which is you need to have an out as witches for your dwelling, right? And they kind of have that in the South, but that's saying you also have to hard dig that gray and build on that gray. And
yeah, but he needs 2 more. He does need 2 more. So I think he is gonna hard dig the gray and build that other green that he can reach.
that is.
He has nothing else to do with these resources, really. He has every point scoring favor. Temples don't get him points, or they barely get him points. He could fight more on air, but like.
Interesting. Bowser goes up on the air track.
Yeah, Bowser does send a priest to air.
So now
Bowser's not building dwellings.
Oh, he is. He's gonna take the priest. Power action.
Oh, he just got enough power action from that to take a priest, and then he still can pump out some dwellings.
Yep.
Okay.
He's taking his time on the dwellings.
Yeah, sending that last priest to air is reasonable. It at least locks up 4 more points there for him.
Yeah.
It leaves Earth a little. If Nomads just sent all 3 priests to Earth, I don't know, but
he needs at least.
I'm a little surprised nobody's been sending their priests to Earth because that track is really not sorted out yet.
Yeah, the track is definitely.
And it looks like both mermaids and nomads have just way too many extra priests to be. Or no, I never mind. I said mermaids. Some of their priests are for finishing off this town.
Yeah, I think the bigger problem is that once somebody sends their priest to Earth, then everyone is going to send their priest to Earth. So
everybody probably reacts. That's true.
And then it's like, okay, well, Darklings still get Earth. Thanks. So you got to kind of wait that out and see what happens.
Yeah, that's probably a reasonable call.
I love the probably reasonable call. My favorite. It's my favorite of my calls that I make. It's probably reasonable.
That's good.
It's not bad, because generally when I make bad calls, they're said. They're named. They're named. So let's see. I will say we are flying through this game. We are absolutely flying through this
Yeah,
game.
these guys have not been taking time to think too much. We had a very different set in Group A of some deep thinkers. And this game is okay. You called Bowser. He took the priest.
I did. Yeah, taking the priest. Well, dig. There you go. I know my
I
stuff.
mean, you have some good calls for sure. Every once in a while
Yeah, was that every once in a while they're bad, or was it every once in a while?
Every once in a while you call stuff that I'm not seeing necessarily right away.
Okay. I thought it was every once in a while you get good calls.
I obviously am still salty about watching the Game 2 broadcast and seeing you constantly write me off as mermaids. Like, nope, NerdCube got this. NerdCube got this. And then kind of at the end, it was just kind of like oh, I guess Randy did win. No real apology, no like congrats. It was just kind of like, oh, good for him.
And I think that's the problem of the format, though, because at the end of the day, it was a lot of, well, yeah, I guess he did win game 2, but
there wasn't a lot of super interesting stuff. You guys were kind of at the end, and
oh yeah, we were
already
dead
won
tired
overall anyhow, and so yeah, like no, it was fine. And I'm probably slightly playing up how it felt. My memory of the situation might not be what the average viewer felt.
Oh yeah, we were like this was after 5 hours of broadcasting where I was freaking out in the background because I was like, oh my god, how do I make the stream work? This stream worked. Like this stream worked plenty fine before, right? I've dropped 0 frames in now almost 4 hours, and in 10 minutes I dropped 90% of my frames in during Wednesday's broadcast. So I'm just freaking out of it here, and that took a toll on me. And then it's like 11 o'clock at night too, midnight for Andrew. So it's by the end of it, we were just glad it was over. Yes. And I'm sure it was heard in our voices.
So we just had another Fire 2 sighting though. Fatty did go for Fire 2 as we were kind of guessing he was going to.
Son of a gun.
That's the fantasy players rejoice. He at least is pulling a point this game. With that said, this is the first game of the Fire 2 Open where I think the Fire 2 players are taking last. Where the 2 people without Fire 2 are actually going to win. And so you are going to have to go back to your earlier statement. Are you going to disqualify Logus if he wins this game?
Oh, yeah. Bowser? Logus was 100% disqualified when he tied for 3rd.
If Logus wins this game, he's going to move on.
Not if I disqualify him for not taking Fire 2.
That's true. Sorry. Strong point.
Well, we've already fired our TO, so what happened, we don't know.
Anyhow, for what it's worth, I have done the rough endgame calcs again, and Logus is definitely our winner here.
Okay.
Despite all your Darkling's love throughout this game, Logus has good cult points and good network points and good pass points, and he's already in the points lead. So.
To be fair, I'm just glad Bowser's giving me 6 fantasy points. Okay, like that's all I care about.
Bowser's pulled. Yeah, Bowser did well. He's gonna take 2 seconds. And it does look like I was right. I think Fatty is gonna struggle to score 100 points this game. Which is pretty remarkable. But he's barely gonna claw himself into that. So.
Yep. This is.
I feel good about my prediction at the start of this game that I felt that Witches for 30 was probably the best position of the draft.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Logus is going to win this game, I think, by at least a 10 victory point margin now at this point. So
I will state that my judgment may have been clouded by my 3rd round pick potentially taking first in the group.
Desire.
Yeah, but
Bowser's game has been pretty good. It looked pretty good throughout. He's going to be a bit short, but I loved a lot of his broad level decisions throughout this game.
Yeah, I did too. So I mean, and his entire goal was taking 3rd in this group, right? And yes, he does take a technical 3rd because Sadie got 1st and last, right? So that outdoes a second.
A second.
Yeah.
So he's technically going to place 3rd. That's true. But taking 2 seconds feels really good. Yeah, like this group is actually going to be very wild, isn't it? Because it's going to be 6.5 tournament points for Logus, 6 for Fatty, 6 for Bowser.
Yeah.
Very even amongst the top 3 players here.
Yep. And even Bamboo Moose coming in clutch with 3 fantasy points. So, well done to him. And to people who picked him, including you. Congrats.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was your 4th pick.
Oh, all right, gotcha.
You took him.
What a group.
You took him over Jesse. Jesse, if
Yes.
you're listening, yeah, a completely unknown 400 level player was taken over you. How does that make you feel?
Jesse, I don't really know you either. I just at the end of the draft, I kind of just shrugged my shoulders and picked. I think it was actually largely what group they were in and who I had already picked. That I think I picked Bamboo because, yeah, I think I was going for the other, but I'm not sure. But anyhow, regardless, this game is wrapping up. We just have the last few moves. It does look like Bamboo is going to tie Logus for network and still hit 3 shipping, which I thought he was gonna just eke out. Oh wait, no, I might be wrong. Does he actually have enough for that? I don't know. We'll find out in a second. He'll do it, but that will slightly lower my estimation for Logus, but not by enough to matter.
Not by enough to matter.
I mean, look, Logus is at 122, Bowser's at 116. I think the big issue is Logus gets 15 network points, and I think Bowser gets 6.
He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have...
Mermaids aren't connected. Remember, mermaids have 4 dwellings that aren't part of their network.
No, I'm saying that Bamboo doesn't have enough. He can't chip.
Oh my god. Yeah, he messed up. He screwed up his accounting.
Yeah, he needed to dig and build there.
No, but Fatty gets 3rd and Fatty advances because of that. This is awful. But yeah, Bamboo screwing this up might have just handed this to Fatty.
Oh wow. Oh, this is what a turnaround in this game.
Fatty's about to get 6 points on network that he wasn't anticipating, and Bamboo is going to get way less, which I think is going to make Fatty get a 3rd. Because Bamboo is also getting 3 less points on the pass that I was anticipating.
Okay, so we're gonna redo all these calculations right now.
This is nuts. Fatty is going to advance now because of that mistake.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's really unfortunate for Logus. It's just a bad mistake for Bamboo Mouse, but there's no way around it. Bamboo can send a priest to fire, but that only gets him 3 power, not enough. Like he'll still be 1 resource short. So yeah, Bamboo messed up his endgame calcs here, and it's gonna cost him 3rd. He's only gonna take 4th now. But the big unfortunate thing is that Fatty gets 3rd, and we'll move on because of that. Logus is tied for 3rd is gonna cost him. Wow, and he's taking small points from Logus. I guess that's all he could do with his priest there. But he could have he could have sent 2 priests to Earth. That would have been slightly better. But regardless, yeah, Bamboo forgot to connect and forgot to advance ship one more time. He should have just accepted that he couldn't build that last dwelling. But
I mean, he could have though. He could have done it with going to that brown hex. If he'd gotten to that brown hex, it wouldn't have connected that the top dwelling. But that's fine.
Well, it's not fine if he's actually trying to the point is he should have just advanced ship instead of building that dwelling, because
that's fair.
That was by far the most efficient points. He messed up, and yeah, Fatty totally takes 2nd. Wow, what a crazy finish. Logus was going to advance until that happened. Wow, and Darklings were much closer than I thought. I lied. I must have mucked up where some of his points were coming from.
Well, he also did just get 6 extra points.
Oh, he got 6 extra points too. Okay, Logus still won, but yes, I thought Logus had won this game by like a 10-point margin by my estimates, and he did. He should have, but you're right. Bowser got 6 more points as well. Very well done by Logus, as we said. Well done by Bowser too. I mean, they both played good games. I liked a lot of what they were doing. We thought at the draft they were kind of in good spots, and both Fatty and Bamboo and I had a couple questions at times with their games, and they took 3rd and 4th, and Fatty Fatty just got handed in advance though that he should have deserved. So it'll be interesting to see in the final if he can ride that good fortune and keep it up.
Oh yeah. Let's actually get him on the phone and let's see if we can talk to him about this roller coaster of emotions he probably just had. Fatty, you have now won the Group B of the Fire 2 Open. How are you feeling?
Relieved, honestly.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like perhaps the luckiest man alive?
Of course, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I like it's not a, like Logus said, it's not about like deserving it or anything, but I kind of I had given up, but um yeah, I don't know. I can't play mermaids on this map. I have no idea why. If you look at my mermaids record on this map, it's really bad. I should have
I
just gone for witches.
I remember the Mermaids game from 2 days ago when you
I
said I should have gone Big Econ, right?
Yeah, and I
Was that
tried.
what was going through your mind whenever you were playing this game? Whenever you started the game, you were like, all right, I'm gonna go Big Econ this game.
I figured I shouldn't let anyone else get Action 6, but then again, in retrospect, maybe since I wasn't gonna connect anyways, maybe building so wide wasn't really the best plan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, uh, I mean,
I won't lie, I was a bit critical of your game choices early on for some of those reasons. Yeah. So
yeah, and for some reason, I don't know, when it comes to mermaids, like I can play them on the base map pretty okay, but they're not my strongest faction. But I can't let the opponents have it for such a good price. So I was trying to snipe witches away from, like, in first seat, but it didn't work out.
yeah, so I was curious about that. You bid quite a lot for mermaids this game, even though they were sandwiched.
Yeah, it was part of a strategy to make people take them and I could get witches, but I got too greedy for that, and I tried to make up for it by almost finishing last, but you know.
Yeah, it was wild when we were starting to realize that Logus might have the perfect result of him taking first and you taking last, like he needed, and that would
Yeah,
be the connection
the
that didn't happen.
yeah, and the tie in the first game really, I kind of, I remembered he was last, but it kind of slipped my mind that he was tied. And then when I realized, and I was a bit panicking, and I didn't know if I should have tried to use my priest for shipping and connect through the south, but I felt like maybe I should have forgone the town and just
Mhm.
connected myself. That was
Yeah,
my
I was
that was an idea, but I didn't know if I could pull it off. Like, it
I
was
was
costly.
questioning. We were questioning that at the end on what the right path was, and I agree it
Yeah,
wasn't clear.
Yeah.
I had a question for game one, where obviously
yeah,
you
sure.
crushed it. That's a lot of why you're advancing. You played great. Did you did you expect during the bidding that you were going to potentially be able to open Sanctuary, or was that a much later thought?
No, I actually figured that I figured I should get Darklings for a lot of reasons, but also because I felt like I had to have the Leech Triangle going on, and Logus would be out of Leech by playing Fakirs. So I really wasn't interested in Fakirs at all, and the idea of Sanctuary was. I mean, if I didn't get bonus 6, I could still pull it off with bonus 5, which is the one that Snellman talk. The two worker bonus, you can still pull it off with either the priest or the one worker through power. So I had plenty of ways to, even with the 4 coins, and but this way was cleaner. But I definitely wanted
So you
to
did you did want to open Sanctuary on pretty much
yeah,
all paths. So
yeah.
in that case, you took a priest power action before taking the workers or coins. Did you feel that was getting greedy, or you really just thought your opponents would have no interest in those actions?
Uh, I thought I thought dwarves wouldn't be interested in the workers, and because I figured he wants to save his power for a double spade action in the next round, which is exactly what happened.
Yep.
And fakirs were not building a second temple ever in round one, so the workers really no one wanted them. So I figured I'd get the priest first, since probably someone, maybe fakirs, to do an extra jump, maybe maybe cultists.
There's lots
just
of
to,
reasons to want priest in round one.
yeah, there was a lot of tension on that priest, and I almost took it before I took Earth One, which could have been a huge mistake. But I figured if I don't get the priest, it's no big deal. I get the workers and the coins. I still do sanctuary, and I
I
just converted. Yeah,
I did think you were gonna just take workers and coins, and so yeah, when you took priest, I thought it was getting a little greedy, but apparently it was not. Your reads were right. You got everything you wanted, and yeah, your opening was great. The other big moment of that game, I thought, was when you got to that northern brown. It's B2. Fakir's
yeah,
potentially could have flown to it. I thought they probably should have, because that would have constrained you quite a bit, I thought, on your expansion. Were you
yeah.
pretty relieved to be able to temp ship to that in round 3? Was that a big hex in your mind as well, or?
Yeah, that was definitely a priority there, but I had a contingency if they had it, I would have maybe increased ship and took E4 and went south instead. So
Okay.
I had another path for a third town. I didn't think I was getting four, that's for sure. But I had the idea of going three towns, whether north or south. It was really depending on what Fakir's did. I felt he was under pressure from dwarves for the center one, and Fakir's hate double digs on the single spot, so I understand why he chose to take the corner red from dwarves, and that allowed me to
I
go north.
agree. That pressure is what enabled you to get that. But yeah, I was curious how that would resolve. I obviously wasn't actually broadcast, or Andrew was still doing game one. But yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I had the text chat had called the game for you as soon as you got the northern hex. Though I was like, I just don't see anybody else doing enough good things. And yeah, you crushed it. It was very well. That was, four town darklings is a rare beast. Getting 16 network or structures down too. It was a very fun game to watch.
Oh, it's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
It was
It was fun to play.
it was a perfect example of how feast or famine you are when you play
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's just this for the second one. It honestly was just a bit of greed. I was about to go for witches, and uh, yeah, I didn't write in the chat or anything. I just didn't. I wanted to make it seem like I had some sort of plan. I didn't want to go like, oh, you just got me, whatever. So I refrained from that, but I really think with witches I could have pulled off a third or a second place. Logus is a very awesome player with witches. He's a very awesome player in general, and um, it's. I mean, we've played together like 60 games of this versus one another,
Mhm.
and I knew as soon as he opened the stronghold, I knew exactly what all his moves were, but there was just nothing I could do to
Oh,
prevent him.
that's rough.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations. I'm really
thank you.
excited to see you in the finals.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be a tough one. Whoever like Nerdcube already, that's a tall order, and whoever comes out on top of C and D is still gonna be a top-notch competitor. So yeah,
so
gotta
we,
prep for the Fire and Ice map a bit more.
are you expecting what 2 games per day on Fire and Ice from now on?
I'm gonna try, but maybe the people in the maybe people I usually play with will not want to play with me. I don't know.
maybe the people who are now out of the tournament can all conglomerate together to power up somebody.
So the question that they asked in game one is, yeah, so who are you like most concerned about in the upcoming groups making it to the final with you?
Um, I mean, um, like I said, definitely Nerdcube is a really great player. I've seen a couple of games from him, but every time I see him play, it's just like I'm just amazed. Like his reads, I feel like his reads on what people want to do and need to do are pretty excellent. So that's always difficult. He can optimize a lot of his own actions with this. And upcoming groups, like we have what the next Wednesday is Chris, Ondas, Jesse, and Ned.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, I Either Chris or Ondas is going to be bad news for me, I think. Uh, Group D, I don't know much about the players to be perfectly honest, so I can't really make a prediction. But I'm not looking forward to playing neither Ondas, neither Chris.
Oh, this finals is gonna be a very very entertaining
Oh
experience.
yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
so
Let's
anyway,
just let's just hope I don't feast or famine and I can just
Just
and
feast.
maybe.
Yeah, just feast. All right. Thank you
Alright,
very
guys.
much, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
problem.
The one final thing I did want
Yeah.
to just mention is Fatty
Sure.
did take Fire 2 in both games, as did Nerdcube. So upcoming competitors, just take notes.
Fire
There's a
2.
clear path for advancement. Take Fire 2.
Yeah, it's called the Fire 2 Weapon for a reason. Speaking of which, thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, Ryan, for coming in and filling in. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody for watching. Have a great morning, evening, or night. And I will see you guys later. Next broadcast, Wednesday at 7 p.m. EDT. Bye-bye.